I shared it.
So we up?
Yeah, we ready.
All right. So I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, you know, double honors to our apostles, our bishops, our elders, and all our Akin pushing this truth out in sincerity. All right. Yeah. So all the prophecies are just are coming out, man. Esau society, domino effect. All right. So if any brothers got anything?
Isaiah 24, verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste.
That's right. The Lord make the earth empty and make it waste. Because the Lord is pretty much, he about to start wasting things and destroying also. The the so-called white man's his infrastructure, these nations, they're gonna start falling. And more disasters gonna take place.
Right. And turneth it upside down.
And turneth it upside down. Because the so-called white man, he done turned everything upside down. So the Lord is gonna shake him up. Now we in that time. All right, so we in a time martial law. We in a time where martial law is gonna take place. They're gonna tag people. You got it.
It says, and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress.
All right, so yeah, it's gonna be destruction going on, man. And the Lord is not gonna spare old or young. It doesn't matter. So you're gonna have pregnant women destroyed. You're gonna have infants. You're gonna have human life in the womb being destroyed because there's no innocent. Because we were here before. Oh, you had something? Oh.
No, I said,
we were here. People were here before. This ain't the first time that human life was on the earth. You live multiple times. Reincarnated. There's nothing new under the sun. Already got it.
Okay, add on to that what you just said too. When you read about the as with the woman, so with the man or whatever, or the priest or whatever, everybody's gonna be in the same predicament. It's not gonna be like this person doing good, this person doing alright. Like especially with the dollar's collapsing. We all depend on the so-called Americans. The people depend on the dollar. So when the dollar collapses, even if you have the most amount, like you rich or whatever, right? It's gonna be so much inflation. It's not gonna matter how much money you have. You're still gonna be poor.
Everybody gonna be in the same boat.
Yeah.
And everybody getting it. Everybody getting that judgment.
Yep. So, and when you get the chance, could I get James 5:3 and Habakkuk 2? So, yeah, that's right. It's like elder brother just mentioned. Everybody gonna be in the same boat. This money is funny money. It's not real. It's just an illusion. All right. And Shaman, he always bring out that it's backed by labor. That's the only thing that's backing this these currencies. All right, you got it. Yeah, you can finish. Sorry.
It says, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him.
That's right. So everyone's rich and poor. The usurer, man. The so-called white man, his whole system is on usury. He makes money on usury. He here it goes. He'll lock up organized crime, but the so-called white man, his whole thing is legalized crime. You got it?
That was it.
You got James?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is James chapter 5, verse 3. It says, your gold and silver is cankered.
Yeah, gold and silver. That's his monetary system, the so-called white man's monetary system, and the world nations follow it. His gold is, it said, what is that?
It says your gold and silver is cankered.
It's cankered. Yes, it's corrupted. It's not real. It's not backed by anything and stolen. It's fraudulent. Go ahead.
It says, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you.
Yeah, gold and silver, it doesn't rust. So it's us talking about his monetary system. So-called white man's monetary system is going to witness against him because this this dollar, this fiat is about to collapse. It's going to collapse. It was created to collapse. All right?
It says, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
That's right, because all this going to cause chaos, the financial collapse, and they're not going to be able to buy themselves out of this destruction that's going to take place. All right? So basically, he done dug himself a grave, and he's going to damn near jump in it, man. He dug his own grave, the so-called white man.
Right. It says he hath heaped treasure together for the last days.
He heaped treasure for the last days. Look, the brother in South Carolina, he brought out the thing with the Vatican. Those was videos that he brought out. I was trying to find them. That was out years ago with you know, Queen of England, the Vatican, how and all of them, their traffic, the drug trade, the slave trade, they got wealthy with that, you know, by that traffic. So drug trade, slave trade, and commerce going throughout the earth, man. They have got wealthy.
Keep going.
Yeah.
It says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth.
Yeah, so all these nations in the nation of Israel, we was put in a messed up situation, and they reaped that they wealth from fraud in the nations, rape, robbery, slave trade again, and the fraudulent fiat system that's that they keep printing the money, and it causes hyperinflation, which is those people's buying habits out of whack, which creates more crime, more crime. You got it.
It says, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
That's right. So the Lord hears our cries, man. We're constantly complaining to the Lord when we say our prayers, when we go out and we doing the work, and then our spirit cry out to the Most High, to the Lord. All right, to Yahweh Shai, to Yahweh. So they hear that.
All right. It says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton.
Yeah, the so-called white man, he done lived in pleasure and been wanton. He goes on all the philosophies of the ancient kingdoms, and he done lived great, man. Look, just in New York City, you see Billionaires Row, 57th from Park Ave, that whole 57th Street from what is it, Central Park West, going to 5th Avenue on 57th Street, that's Billionaires Row. 59th Street, Millionaires Row, 100 people that's worth hundreds of millions, but you got Billionaires Row. Then you got the people from Park Ave going from the 70s on down to like 86 and shit like that, man. They living real well, man. You got it.
It says, ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter.
All right,
It says,
you can drop it.
all right.
Yeah, so the so-called white man, he's been living good, man. He has the fatness of the earth. That shows who he is. And the top banking families, their Khazars, all right? They're Amalek. So the curses, that's not any curses. Those are not the curses. That shows that they're not the Lord's people.
You got to mention China and Brazil. News just came out today. China and Brazil, they are planning to do transactions via trade, and they're excluding the dollar, within those transactions. So they're dumping the dollar, the U.S. dollar.
See, so these nations are strong now. You know what I mean? And the ones that don't have those nuclear weapons, they're being backed by the nations that do have them, protected. All right? So America, they just can't do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? And NATO, and the EU.
I'm going to preach it right now.
Uh-huh.
Ezekiel 7 verse 19 says, They shall cast their silver in the streets.
Yeah, so the money gonna be worthless. It's gonna come to a time where, this dollar crash and gold and silver could sustain you for a certain amount of time. And then it's gonna come to a point where that ain't even gonna help you.
Should I get the black?
The elites ain't gonna be able to buy themselves out of the destruction. They're just gonna have to just stay and hide in their hideouts until the Lord snatch them out.
You want the black
And
horse? You want the black horse?
Oh yeah, come.
Okay.
and their gold shall remove. It says, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath.
So it shows that these elites, all right, and these lesser luminaries, their money is not going to protect them. It's not going to help them. They're not going to buy them. They're not going to buy themselves out of their destruction. All right.
It says, not to be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord.
Yeah. So woe to you, rich men. All right. So your money is not going to be able to defend you in that time. It's destruction time.
They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels because of the stumbling block of the iniquity.
That's right. So you're gonna be in a difficult spot where your money is not gonna help you anymore. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is Revelation 6, verse 5. It says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances.
Yeah, that black horse is on famine. And that balance, it represents judgment and slavery.
Balances in his hand.
Uh-huh.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Yeah, because in the Roman Empire, a penny was a day's wage for a soldier, a centurion, right?
Yeah.
And now this is representing inflation.
Yeah.
The heavy the money being so far printed, that bubble to where you need a lot of money just to buy small items. So that's like hyperinflation.
Can I say one thing? Yeah, and we know that the debt ceiling is over 31 trillion. The not the total debt, but that's like the national debt. But the real debt is beyond 31 trillion. And with China and all these other countries, the BRICS alliance and all these other countries dumping the dollar, what that's doing is making the dollar circulate. It's not going as far as it went. So now, that's leading to, more dollars having to be spent for these items that was once manufactured by these other countries coming into America. Now to get these certain, items and things like that is going to cost more. So it's going to be it's going to be a heavy demand for those items, which leads to inflation.
So basically, it's designed to just hurt mainly the poor. That's who suffers from that. Okay.
The black horse represented slavery, or was it
that balance is judgment and slavery. The balance,
right?
And a black horse is famine.
Okay.
Too.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
See that piece of it?
Um,
That's all after you finish.
There's a little more. It says a measure of wheat for a penny.
So you say measure wheat for a penny. A penny in the ancient world for the salary for a Roman centurion was a penny, right? A day's wage, but it is also representing a wage and inflation. because now that money is like it's not enough because you can only buy a very little.
Yeah, small amount of
Yeah.
that ain't gonna do much for you.
Mhm.
If it costs a day's worth of work, like if you go today, a day's worth of work, like an average, minimum wage is what, $15 an hour. So
Mhm.
you work an 8-hour shift, that's like $100. So it's, like you said, it's going to inflation. But I'm gonna finish it. It says, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Hurt not the oil and the wine. That's just truth. All right, and that's the men of the Lord, and it's truth. The truth is still going out to the very end, to the famine of the word.
Mhm.
That's it on that. Right? Okay, kind.
You got it.
Oh yeah, so we in a time now. You see all these things that's taking place, and what happened was a so-called shooting that passed us.
It was a shooting transgender. Shout out to school. Shut up. I think it was a daycare or something.
So that's gonna lead to you can't say certain things because that's you preaching hate, and also disarming the people for that gun legislation. So it's twofold,
Yeah, and that father shows you those are people that come up there on, they don't know what sex they are, just they have demons on them.
Isaiah 3:9 and Isaiah 3:9 show their countenance.
I was just about to get that. Yeah. This is
That's what you want.
Oh, you got something else?
No, that's all right.
You got something, right? You can hold that because Malak got something.
Isaiah 1 verse, Zephaniah 1 verse 16. A day of, it says, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced city.
They say that a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities. Yeah, so against the high towers. So America don't have any high fences around the city. So that's basically talking about their nuclear defenses, right? Yeah, so that's their nuclear defenses. It ain't gonna save them.
Says, I'm gonna jump to verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath.
Yeah, so your gold and your silver is not gonna deliver you. The so-called white man. And we already know out in the other nations, the other heathen nations, and 2/3 of our people, that's doing well, your money is not gonna help you. So everybody's talking about generational wealth and this and that. It's not gonna help you in that time.
Says,
Fuck it, I don't slack it. The nuclear missile technology that Russia and China has, America has no answer for.
Yeah.
If a war started right now and nuclear was to go off, BRICS would have the advantage over NATO.
See?
it says, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire.
Yeah, the whole land gonna be devoured by the fire, that nuclear fire, concentrated fire from the Lord. So your fallout shelters, because they're going over here, it's not gonna help you. You lesser luminaries gonna be here in the fallout shelters. Mount Weather, I believe that's near Virginia. You have S4 base in Nevada, Area 51, all of those secret mountain retrieval bases. They're gonna be plummeted, man, with nuclear fire.
It said, but be devoured by the fire of his jealousy.
You're devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Who? Yahushua's jealousy.
For he shall make even a speedy riddance.
A speedy riddance. That speedy riddance is gonna be that thermonuclear fire.
Of them that dwell in the land.
A
That's it.
speedy riddance. What would make this place a speedy riddance that annihilate this whole country? Thermonuclear fire. Concentrated fire from the Lord.
The scripture is saying 1 hour.
In 1 hour. So that would take intense heat to destroy this place in 1 hour. What? So the technology that would do that now is thermonuclear fire and a Lord shooting fire on this place. That's the fire that's the fire that will turn this place into a desert.
Yeah.
All right, that will destroy this place in 1 hour. The only fire that would do that is thermonuclear fire. And we are in a, what's it called, nuclear age?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I got 3 something.
That's it.
Remember what I'm saying?
I got what he wanted, Isaiah 3:9, but
All right, I'll run real quick. Isaiah 51:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
Yeah, the Lord created the smith that gave them the mind, the smith, to blow up the coal in the fire. Ancient world smiths made weapons. They made tools. All right, and it's basically what they would melt down metals, right? It's basically melt down metals and form them. You know, they form them to what it's supposed to be designed for.
Even swords.
Even the swords, yeah. So the modern day smiths would be the scientists, the nuclear scientists, all right, that engineer these things. It's just on the you had things they was manipulating the elements, the metals, burning them down, but now it's on a molecular level, an atomic level, nuclear level to do that. It's just the technology increase.
The smith would be the scientist.
Yeah.
Out of mainly from was it them scientists from Germany.
Germany, yeah. Germany. They was the wisest. They the top. They have the top engineers and all that.
Right.
Everyone knows that. Yeah.
After World War II, World War II, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They America, I believe it was World War II. America took the scientists from Germany, and then Russia took some scientists also, and then they ended up both developing a new technology. Operation Paperclip. As a spirit too, because Russia and America, they both Edomites, man. You know, so that blessing was given on to them.
Mm-hmm.
That sword.
Yeah.
So I'm continuing on. It says, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal.
Yes, the Lord that created the smith that bloweth the coal. And this proves that Esau is who he is because his blessing was a sword. You know what I mean? Jake's, the nation of Israel wasn't on a level on at this time or that time to make high-tech weapons like that. You know what I mean? Nuclear weapons and things like that. It's Esau that was given that blessing. You got it.
It says, and that bringeth, it says, bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument of his work.
That instrument of his work, that nuclear technology. You know, starting from the atomic weapons. Is when it says in Revelation, you make a fire fall from heaven.
Yeah.
That was that atomic warfare, but now the nuclear one is more deadlier.
Yep. And I have created the waster to destroy.
A waster to destroy. The waster is that thermonuclear warheads of missiles. That's the waster to destroy.
Yeah, it's gonna waste. It's gonna be a waste. It's gonna be a wasteland for the wasteland.
Waster.
That's basically it.
uranium, plutonium.
Quick precept. So Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5, and it says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise.
Every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. The ancient world battles and the war, you know, you had the regular modern day chariots and soldiers clashing, marching towards each other. They clash in close hand-to-hand combat, close combat, I mean, with the weapons and shields. You know, someone get gutted out, their abdomen, their intestines hanging out. You know what I mean? Those was quick death blows. Right. You know what I mean? And, you know, the soldiers knew anatomy, the kill strikes were the hit back then. And there was a lot of screaming and noises, right? And keep going.
It says, and garments rolled in blood.
Garments rolled in blood. So it was close. It was close combat. You had to get close on each other. And it was garments rolled in blood. Yeah, so there was a lot of blood from those blows. Garments rolled in blood, guts hanging out. You know what I mean? Yeah, a person might get gutted up, but they don't die instant. They just suffering and screaming. You see, imagine a person, they see their intestines hanging out and they still alive.
Right.
You get me?
It was
Yeah.
back then too. Men were real warriors. You know, nowadays a guy, just because he has a gun on his waist or he has some type of, you know, high-tech weaponry, you know, he's considered a warrior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So that's all. You know, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
This war gonna be with burning and fuel of fire. So you ain't really ultimately at the end it's just gonna be nuclear missiles. Those armies, those soldiers are gonna be missiles.
Yeah. That was it.
So instead of somebody getting just gutted out, they might be instantly evaporated by fire.
You still want to say 3-9?
You could drop that.
I get. Since you said you said the missiles are like
Yeah, they say soldiers also. Yeah,
I get
they won't break their ranks.
Yeah, don't break their ranks. Okay, good.
Joel chapter 2,
Okay, that's what I was
verse
getting.
6. Before their faces, it says, before the people shall be in much pain, and all their faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men.
Yeah, those missiles they're gonna be strategic. They're gonna hit their targets. They're not gonna break their ranks. All right. Nothing's gonna detour them or deflect them.
If I may say too, because really the Most High is gonna guide them, you know, to where they gotta go. Those are his. That's why I said those are his weapons of his indignation. He created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire, because he's gonna guide those missiles to where they gotta go.
Yeah.
The spirit.
And also they have the small missiles now. You know, the evade oncoming missiles and whatnot. But that's Yahweh Shem Yahushua that gave them that technology. And like the brother said, when things do fly, the Lord's gonna guide those missiles.
They shall run.
Horses don't stop; they keep going. You know what I mean?
They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the walls like men of war.
I mean, they're defense systems, man. The defense systems. Those, like in the ancient world, you know, you watch some movies. The mighty men, they get past the archers and they climb the walls and infiltrate.
Yeah.
But these missiles, they're gonna go past whatever defense system Esau got, radar. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Iron wall.
Yeah.
Says, they shall march everyone on his way.
That's right. So that you gotta listen what it's saying. Meaning they're not gonna break. They're gonna hit their target. They're gonna infiltrate this place.
And they shall not break their ranks.
Not gonna break. They're not gonna be deflected. There's not gonna be any duds. They're not gonna get stolen. They're gonna hit their target over here, man.
And this ain't talking about no man.
Yeah, and it's going. I mean, and the target, meaning it don't have to hit the ground, the airspace, and then detonate. Boom. That's it.
Like the Elder Malak said, it's not talking about men, because, you know, people that's not spiritual, you know, they read the scriptures and they think that everything that's written in the scriptures is literal. It's parabolic, and also it's going according to the times back then. The best way the prophet could describe what he was seeing.
Yeah, you know how Jake. Here goes Jake's. You know, on their rhymes, they could call it. They have code names or like fancy slang words to say money or their guns. They don't. You rarely hear a person say, "We just say guns," so all people could understand what we're saying. But you know, Jakes don't call their guns guns. You know what I mean? So if Jake speak like that, well, how would the Most High
Yeah.
or the Lord speak?
You know, Jake got many different not just different states. You got like even different tribes. Like Benjamin got their own slang, Levi got their own slang.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's heavy.
UK,
It's the car.
United Kingdoms.
I remember certain parts of Brooklyn, you'll call a gun a plaque. Some certain people call certain crews or whatever they used to call guns plaques.
What they call it, Blix.
Yeah, you know.
Blix. Yeah.
But yet,
I got
that's,
one more.
make a quick point of what you just said. That's the spirit, because here it is. They got all these metaphors,
Yeah.
but they can't understand the metaphors in the scriptures.
Right.
The scriptures is a bunch of metaphors and similes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Lazarus. Neither shall they trust another, they shall walk every one in his spot.
That's right. Some of those missiles are gonna hit their target. They're not gonna be deflected.
It says, when they fall, the sword, they shall not be wounded.
That's right. So they're not gonna be put out or deflected. Those missiles are gonna hit the target and detonate. All 200 million of them. But you
That's
got
it. This just to add to the point we're making right now. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow." Right? It says, "His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss."
those arrows, the Lord gonna have his spirit on those arrows, which are missiles.
Right.
Okay? No one's outside. I mean, no one on this planet, on this world right now is using arrows, ancient world arrows no more. Unless maybe them Australian Aborigines on the other part of Papua New Guinea.
Right.
You know the bush people over there, man, huh?
Olympic hours though.
The Amish people.
Yeah, but I mean, on a world scale of things, no one's using them on a higher playing field. You know,
Right.
that's what I meant to say. You know,
Con.
I got
It
some.
says,
you
oh
know.
yeah, this one more sentence. It says, "When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world."
into the world now. An arrow can't go from one end of the globe to the next. That's showing. It's talking about missiles, man.
Yeah.
It's look and on the prophet saw it in a vision. That's how he said it. You know.
Yeah.
Not Jake. Jake think it's gonna be some magical arrow that's gonna travel, like you said, from the ends of one end of the earth to the other end.
So here we go. We got nuclear missiles and all of these guns and things, but yet it's gonna be ancient world arrows that's gonna be shot.
Yeah, like
And Pegasus and stuff like that. Come on, man.
yeah, like an arrow's gonna travel from Russia to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lord gonna come back on flying horses like Pegasus. When Esau got this bullshit crap he got shit that looked like Jetsons type shit.
Yeah.
It's trash though, but here the Lord gonna be on. Come on, man, that don't make sense, man.
Yeah.
You got it.
You know when you watch those rap battles and when somebody says something, the audience hear like two people clap because the what they said went over your head.
Yeah.
So basically, when you read the scriptures, you're not really understanding this because it's going over your head. Here it is. This is really bars. These are real bars because when you look into the scriptures, it's a melody. It's a song.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord is basically dropping bars on you, but it's going over your head.
And no man can learn that song but who? But the 144,000.
That's right. That's right.
Lord willing, of course. Lord willing.
The only way
Yeah.
to sing
Yeah.
is by the story.
That's right. And back to the arrow that go from across the world, that ICBMs, the nuclear missiles, they call ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, because they move from continent to continent. All right.
Oh my God, that was it.
That was the point I was making.
You done?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, Revelation 9, verse 16. It says, "And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000.
There's 200 million intercontinental ballistic missiles. army of horsemen. Those horsemen, that's the missiles, the warheads.
It says 200,000, and I heard the number of them, and thus I saw the horses in the vision.
The horses, horsepower. Horse represents power, the speed that is when it's moving. You hear people with the car engines or whatever, they say horsepower, horses.
It says, and I saw the horses in the vision.
And the horses, the missiles, it represents the speed and power, right?
It says, excuse me.
And they missiles.
It's like, it says, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire.
Breastplates of fire. So it's showing it's not an actual horse. Breastplates of fire. They got those the thermonuclear fire that's in the missiles, man. They got it in the heads of the missiles and the tails. The tail that propels it, it's gonna go into it, you know. And whatever armory that those missiles are made of, whatever type of metal it is.
It says, and of Jason,
And of Jason
and of brimstone.
and brimstone. Now brimstone, when it's ignited, it's like a orangish color, reddish orange color. So you can see when it's in the sky, that glow or that aura, the missiles.
It says, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions.
Has a lion. A head of a lion is bite is in his jaw. The missiles, that power is in the warhead.
It says, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone.
Out of mouth issue fire, smoke, brimstone. That's talking about that thermonuclear fire that's in the warheads.
Yep. It says by these that was the third part of been killed.
Who's the third part of men? Esau, the sons of the wicked. You have the sons of the Most High, the sons of God. You have
Sons of men.
the sons of men, these other nations, and then you have the sons of the wicked, which is Esau, the third part of men, the wicked.
Right. It says and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths.
That's right. So that's thermonuclear energy, man. Horses don't breathe fire.
Right. It says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails.
And their mouth, those warheads that the nuclear fire has, and then the tails is what propels a missile to go in the air and go from one continent to the next.
Just like a rocket.
It's like a rocket.
Yep. It says, for their tails were like unto serpents.
And the serpents, when they're in the atmosphere, when they're in the sky, how they move, how they maneuver around that smoke, it look like serpents.
Kind of, yeah. And it's
Okay.
crazy. It's crazy, man, because like when it's taught to you and you know you actually understand it, you can see it vividly. You know what the prophet is seeing when you look at the missiles today. It's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
The way he's explaining it, that's exactly how, like you said,
Yeah.
how it moves.
Because, he the prophet done got the vision. He done seen different parts of how it was he probably seen it from in the sky how it was. And then the aerial view, he probably got a glimpse of how he seen the prophecy, how the earth was, how he's coming from the sky. So different angles he done seen this.
Right.
So he's able to describe it that way. You got it?
Yeah. It says, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt.
How they hurt? Because it's nothing's escaping that destruction. Only the elect. So anything that's here, the air is not escaping it. All the elements gonna be burnt at the same temperature.
Right.
So they do hurt.
Yep. And they, that's gonna, the scripture say the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, you know, which, you know, that nuclear destruction, what it's gonna do is gonna cleanse the earth first and foremost, but it's also gonna cause a formation of new lands. Just like America's gonna become a desert, you know, but it's gonna also, you know, formulate new lands and stuff like that. So.
And how? Because that fire that comes from out of the earth coming through the water, that or whatever that lava that creates land. And it also is gonna clean the ocean floors. A lot of the ocean gonna be burnt up, evaporate. That ocean floor gotta be clean. The air gotta be clean. The people. So it's thermonuclear destruction, thermonuclear fire is needed.
It's needed.
Yeah.
I got something for you. This is Joel 2:3. Let me read that right now.
Yeah, he Malak read it. Wait, if you want to read it again.
Oh, right, he did?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, I'll read real quick. Joel 2:3, a fire devour before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
That's on our fire. It said a fire before them.
A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
That's right. So that's describing our nuclear wind. That's destroying vegetation. You know how them nukes go off and then you see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That fire in front of
Yeah.
them, it's the warheads. And behind them the flame burneth. Of course, like you just said, that the
Nuclear wind.
It says, and behind them the flame burneth. That's behind the missile. In front of the missile, you got the warheads. Behind the missile, you have what's propelling it, the rocket.
Okay.
The land is as the Garden of Eden before them.
All right. So you know when the missiles go off and then that wind is burn everything up.
Right. And it says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
See?
And to add on, Eden means paradise.
Yeah.
You know, which America's gonna be destroyed. It's been wiped off the map. All right, and some people consider America a paradise, man. Especially not some people, but the elites would. You know, and these so-called billionaires and millionaires, they have the highest view, fattest of the earth. You know, them guys that buy out the whole top floor of the building, the penthouse. You know, so they got I got a good view of Central Park. This is amazing.
Yeah, America one time used to look like the Garden of Eden because there used to be, you know, no pollution.
Yeah.
Remember, you said Central Park and all of that,
Yeah.
you know, so the paradise and things. It made me think. I don't want to keep blabbering. It made me think about. Remember the Jeffersons? Cause we be teaching over there, right behind that building, the Jeffersons building.
Yeah.
And you remember that after the credits when they go off,
Yeah.
that was Central Park. Over there, that was Central Park, cause you had that little lake thing and all of that.
Yeah.
That's Central Park over there.
Yeah. But they ain't showing the back blocks though.
Yeah. They only showed the 86 area.
Yeah.
They show 110.
Nah. They ain't showing the rats and the crackheads.
Yeah.
You know, they ain't trying to blow up their spot. You know, the abandoned building. Yeah. It says as Eden before them, and behind them, after the aftermath for the nuclear missiles, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Yeah, nothing gonna escape them, man. Anything over here in America, only the elect is gonna be beamed up. Everything else gonna be destroyed over there, man.
Okay. I'll see what Malak read.
All right.
Yeah, got anything else?
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay.
This is Isaiah 34. I started verse 4. It says Isaiah 34 and verse 4. Matter of fact, start verse 3. Isaiah 34 and 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
Yeah, there's stink coming out of their carcasses, man. It's gonna be a lot of dead bodies, man. You know, after dead people, dead flesh, the bodies, it has a horrific odor, yo, that's not refrigerated or put in the ground, and it creates more death because it creates disease.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to smell that. But it says, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of dead people destroyed, man.
And it said like up to a horse's bridle.
Yeah, blood.
You know, like a swimming pool of blood.
Yeah, cause you know how much pints, how much liters a human body has. An average human body, adult, what is it, 5.5 liters of blood or something like that. I forget the number. You know, all right, just one regular person.
Imagine 7 billion people.
All right.
Yeah.
It says, it's like, what was that? It says, yeah, verse 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
Yeah, heaven shall be dissolved. Esau's rulership in the heavens, the sky, you know, when the mushroom clouds, it looks like a scroll. So the heavens gonna be rolled up as a scroll. That's the mushroom clouds from the thermonuclear missiles detonating.
That's right.
Okay.
It says, and their host, and all their hosts shall fall down.
Their hosts, the armies, all of Esau's armies, his allies' armies, NATO, the EU, all these world armies, they're gonna stop fighting each other to fight the Lord. And that's where they're gonna meet their ultimate end in the air.
It says, as the leaf falleth from a fig, and as the leaf falleth off, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For behold, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Yeah, them nuclear weapons. I said weapons. Them nuclear weapons. Yeah. They gonna come down from the atmosphere, man. Bathed.
Yeah.
From the waters.
Slakia.
Huh?
When it said when it said bathed in heaven, it's something about basically Esau's heaven. Esau's kingdom gonna be destroyed.
Huh.
That was the heavens.
That's right.
Yep, it says, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Idumea, Edom, America. All right, Idumea. That's a Greek way for saying Edom.
Yep.
Wish they put that word there.
Uh-huh.
It says, and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
That's right. So the so-called white man was cursed, man. And that's his judgment, is that thermonuclear destruction.
Yeah. That's what we trying to get out of. We don't want no parts of that, man.
Yeah.
All right. That's done.
Yeah.
I got something real quick. You know, I was on this for a little while. So Psalms 141:9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, the so-called white man, he has snares for our people, traps. Everything he puts out is a trap for our people, man. And we all know that he's gonna do things to make it seem like we're like terrorists, so he can move on us. So he might do something to try to say it was us, you know? Yep. That's the games he played. He done did that with the other nations. He did it with Saddam, right? Hitler did it. So that's their playbook.
Yep. Hey, shalom to Akim out there on the shalom board, shalom. Els and Akim out there. It says, let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst the I will escape.
And they are gonna fall in their own nets. You know, when this so-called white man is about to fill his belly, all right? When he has certain people tagged with that, you know, that that device, that monetary device. It's a shame we gotta speak like that because he's the devil. All right?
Yep.
And certain people that he done like put on ice from reducing the world's population to that 500 million. When you think he has everything done, that's when the Lord gonna make his move.
That's right. That's why we can't wait for all this to take place. Although it's gonna be rough time, but it's a means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Lord said He's gonna speed up those days for His elect's sake. So yeah, we can't wait till all these things happen, man. You got some people like had that lady, and she's talking about she can't wait till all hell breaks loose, so she stopped going to work.
Right.
But what end is that to her? What end is it to 2/3? You know, it's only gonna be death and destruction. It's really only for the elect. That's why the Lord's gonna come back to save His elect, but 2/3 gonna be destroyed.
Yep, can I say one thing too?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, this you know, what's going on now, you know, it's heavy, man. You know, because, you know, back then it might have seemed like, you know, it wasn't really nothing going on. You know, sometimes it feel like, you know, you gotta find deep inspiration to do a lesson, you know, because it's not really much to talk about, ain't really nothing going on, no same things, you know, business as usual. But nowadays, like, yo, these prophecies is on steroids, man. It's like the prophecy is speaking on steroids, man. You know, spiritually, you know, and it's like, you know, they're at like present day, March 31st, 2023. There's, you know, not one brother can say, oh, there's nothing to go into. There's nothing but news going out right now, prophecies, man. You know, we were just talking about what happened with China and Brazil, you know.
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah, you know, Russia just dropped a bomb on Ukraine. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. It's heavy. Layoffs, people getting laid off from their jobs. You got it, bro.
This Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak
The
and
vision,
not lie.
the vision is for appointed time. What vision? These prophecies unfolding. It's for an appointed time. It's a set time the Lord wants them to take place. Whose time? The Lord's time, the Most High's time. Got it.
Right? It says, but at the end it shall speak and not
It's
lie.
going to speak. So these things are going to happen. And it's not going to lie. So it's going to take place.
Yeah. We've seen it. We've seen the famines. We've seen the pestilence. All right. We've seen the hatred amongst people, hatred amongst nations, separations.
Yeah.
You know, the collapse of the dollar. This goes on.
So the Lord moves the chess pieces the way He wants to move them, in a certain time when He wants them to take place.
Huh?
It says, though it tarry, wait for it.
Though it tarry. It doesn't seem like a long time. Wait for it. Patience to suffer.
It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not going to tarry. It's not going to take forever. It's going to happen in this lifetime.
Right.
It's
All right.
happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody could. That's another thing too, man. Nobody could deny us anymore, man.
Yeah.
You know, you still got these gainsayers about the RFID chip or whatever, but that's a what you call it? That's an argument that really you can't really, you know, debate that either, because it's over there in Sweden, and they're doing it over there in Sweden. So it's like, you know, what can Jake really say against us? You know, that's why when you know, they had that's a change topic. You had Sakari, he had the debate with this Edomite Christian, what's his name, Dr. Brown, and destroyed him. You know, light work. Cause it's like, yo, man, there's nothing you can really say about this truth.
Yeah.
Right.
And with that tag that he plans to tag every man, listen, they went off the gold standard, right? Off the silver. They got the credit cards and it's fiat. What other step? There's no other more steps. You got the digital coins or whatever. What is the last step? Is that tag. There's no other, that's the height of it. There's no more other ways to go. What that?
The,
Got it.
the Apostle Gabar just brought out in one of his lessons recently, like maybe an hour ago. He just brought out Aaron Russo basically coming out with the future plans for the elites.
Yeah.
So they plan to put that you know what, that implant
Yeah,
into everybody. And so they can't buy or sell
yeah,
without that implant.
yeah. Without that.
That thing.
And he said, yo, don't worry. If you down with us, he told Aaron Russo, you down with us, your joint, your tag to say K-Mate, meaning kiss my ass if they catch you at a checkpoint or whatever. You know what I mean? He's trying to tell him that. He's like, yo, look. He was like, why are you trying to warn the people that serfs, meaning slaves? Worry about your family and yourself. Now, like yo, and they, you know, that he had to go, but they tried to recruit him. They tried to recruit him, but that's the thing, man. The ultimate thing is going towards that tag.
Any more? Let me close
Right.
up soon.
Yeah.
And you close up soon. Come on, got any more?
One
All
more.
right, come on.
Revelations 18, verse 8. Therefore shall a plague come in one day.
The plague's gonna come in one day. What's that plague? That thermonuclear destruction. The plague is gonna come in one day.
Death and mourning and famine.
Death, mourning, and famine. So it's gonna be things that lead up to that nuclear destruction. Global famine, nationwide famine, global famine.
And she shall be utterly burned with fire.
She was America, gonna be utterly burned with fire.
Utterly
Utterly, right?
burned up.
For the
Burnt up.
For the Lord, it says, for his strong, the Lord power who judged her. That's it.
The Lord power that's gonna be judgment. That fire, man. That cleansing agent. That second death is gonna be thermonuclear fire.
That's it.
So, you know.
You close it? Yeah.
All right, so, you know, with that, we're just gonna say, we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Akakadash. You know, double honors to our apostles, our bishops, our elders, and the Akim pushing truth out in sincerity. All right? Shalom.
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 Shalom.